Ladies and gentlemen, we got VZ Commodore 2004 model with a V6 engine under the hood. Problem with this car is something to do with the indicators, something like that. We're gonna diagnose this car today. First thing I notice, I got my keys in my hand. I'm gonna go open and close the doors, see how only that side's working. Same thing, when I open it, only that side indicator works, left hand side doesn't come on at all. So I'll do it a couple of times, locking it, unlocking it, only the right hand side works. That's with the key. First thing I noticed. Let's go inside the car and let's see what we can do here. I'm inside the car now. Let's just turn the key on and let's see if the indicators work. So right hand indicator doesn't work, left hand indicator doesn't work. So both the indicators are doing nothing at the indicator switch itself. Let's see if our emergency hazard working. So I'll press that button on and only the right hand one working, nothing on the left hand. Let's see, go out there and see which one's turning on. So I can see the right hand one is coming on and none of the left hand side is turning on. So it's the same thing with the key. When I locked and unlocked the doors, only the right hand side one was coming on. Same with the emergency. I'll just turn that off. But on the indicator itself, there's nothing. I don't hear any clicking from the relay. There's no lights and nothing on the dash as well to indicate the indicators are working. Okay, so this is the problem we're facing today. First thing, let's just hook up a scan tool and let's see what do we see. Okay, let's just select the car. It's a Holden 2005, I believe. VZ Commodore. It's a V6 engine, automatic transmission, and we just go select. All I'm interested is on my body control module. That's what a lot of the lights system's gonna be involved. Trouble codes, history, something to do with the engine start and all that. I'm not too worried about it. Let's just go to live data and maybe input and outputs. Alright, let's see if we can find anything here that says indicators, hazards, something like that. That's only two there, so let's select that. Let's turn on the hazard and you can see my hazards are on and indicators says on and off. That's a good sign. Now let's turn our indicators just manually on the steering. Indicator switch. Let's go right hand indicator and let's go left hand indicator, and I am seeing nothing here. Okay, nothing's moving on our live data. Let's go active test maybe. Let's see lamps, see if there's anything there to do with the indicators. That one there. Indicators off and on. Let's turn it on, and I heard a click and you can see that turned off on its own, but I'll get you focused with the camera right here on the dash. Okay, now I'm gonna go and command that same test on the scan tool. See that indicator lights up for a brief moment, and I'm pretty sure if we go outside and do the same thing, our indicators would be on. So you can see that there, this side indicators are on. Obviously I don't see the other side indicators turning on. Let's do it again. Let's go quickly have a look at the back. Turn it on. This side is on, that side is not on. Okay, so when we do command, even computers only commanding just one side for us. Okay, that's the problem we are facing on this car, and we saw the same result with the key remote and also with the hazard button here. Only the right hand side is coming on, left hand side is not. But with the manual control right here, manual control, there's nothing left or right, it's blank, no indicators whatsoever. So let's just do some testing on this circuit. Guys, this is the wiring diagram I pulled out of auto data. Okay, so what this is telling me is this S5 is my indicator switch, and this S27 is my hazard light, and this is all the light bulbs. So 3 on each side of the car, left and right hand side of the car indicators, light bulbs. Okay, so this is only giving me like very brief wiring diagram. It doesn't show me exactly everything that I want to see, because I don't know where the powers come from, I don't know where the ground come from. There's only one wire for the hazard light. This is a little bit, this could be a right wiring diagram, but this is a really brief wiring diagram. So I don't think this is going to help me too much, right? I do not think so. And then I went and did a little bit more searching, and I found a wiring diagram right here, something like that. So I'll have to zoom you back out a bit. So that's another wiring diagram. It's really difficult to read. It's very small letters. Okay, so according to this diagram we got two relays. So we got a hazard and an indicator relay at the top here. I'll zoom you down in there so we see what I'm doing. We got hazard light relay, indicator relay up here. Down here it says it's got flasher relay as well. And if you look on this side, we got a hazard light switch, bunch of wires going to the hazard light switch. We got body control module, and we also have a turn signal switch around here. So it's very difficult diagram to read, to be honest. They sort of looks like all interconnected. BCM, switch, flasher relay, hazard, everything connected. So all this pink highlight is for my right hand side indicators, and all these green lines is for my left hand indicators. Okay, but it's super difficult, so I'll try to sort of describe here if I could. Okay, so I'll try my best. So this is all 3 lights plus the lights on the instrumental panel right here for the right hand side. All these lights, they have their own separate ground right somewhere, and it goes to the light bulb. All of the ground path. And then from here and up we got wiring going towards the turn signal. Also the same wire goes up towards the body control module, same wire goes to the hazard light, and there are a bunch of relays and fuses here too. There's one fuse there, two relays we already talked about, then there's another fuse at this corner here for the BCM. So very difficult wiring to sort of make a sense. Okay, so what's controlling what here? So it looks like if you follow this pink highlight, it just goes to every component, like turn signal, hazard, body control, everything. So it's not making sense to me. But I tell you from memory that our turn signal, which is just a normal from the turn signal switch, not from the hazard light, not from the body control module. I know for fact, I have done it in the past, that turn signal should turn on independently with, it shouldn't have to go through BCM. Okay, when you lock and unlock the car, yes, the BCM has to control that light. Maybe even the hazards. Maybe even the hazard needs to go through the body control module, and then body control module turns on the indicators. It has to be controlled that way because it has to be done even if the ignition is off. Right, but when you drive in the car and you're just using your indicator normal with the indicator switch on the steering, it doesn't need to go to the BCM from my memory. But according to this diagram, it looks like it all goes to BCM, but it's not making sense to me. So I'm gonna just focus on turn indicator independent on its own without worrying about body control module or hazard warning switch. Okay, so let's go and do some testing inside. Under the dashboard, under the steering, just pull this cover off. Just pull it out like that. Okay, now I think I should just disconnect this computer scan tool for now, so we'll have a bit more room here. So under this cover, you can read as well right here. There's a flasher relay. Okay, let me see if I can show you that. Okay, right here it says flasher unit at the top. Right here, flasher unit relay, and it also says blower. The hazard relay. Right here. You can read it. Okay, so when I'm turning so according to this diagram on the fuse illustration there, this is our flasher relay right here. Okay guys, right here. So I'll just turn the hazard light on. Now my hazard light is on. You can hear that click click. I'm just looking for that click on one of these relay, because according to the illustration on the cover for the fuses and relays, this is our flasher relay. But something is clicking, but I don't feel any clicks on this relay. I'm trying to find it. It sounds like almost coming from behind or up there, behind this fuse box. Now we know there's a BCM behind that on this model, or there could be a separate relay like we saw on the wiring diagram, but none of these are clicking. Okay, I'll just turn the hazard off. Now that makes me believe we should do all our checks on this flasher relay right here, because that's what controls our main indicator on the steering. Okay, let's do that. All right, let's do some testing on this relay right here. So I'm just going to take that relay off. It's a 3-pin relay. Okay, 3-pin relay. So we got, let me just zoom that right up there so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. So right here we got 1, 2 and 3 pins. The top pin is unused, that's nothing there. Okay guys, alright, I'll just put that light there. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna look for what's coming out of that pin. Let me quickly turn the key on. That key is on, so I'm just gonna go to this right hand side pin, and I got 12 volt power there. Okay, now let's try this bottom pin, and I got nothing on the bottom pin, and on the top pin I got earth. You can see the green LED on my power probe right there, green. I got earth coming in, and I got 12 volts power on that. You can see the red LED on my power probe. Okay, just to verify, I would like to use a test light connected to battery negative. Okay, so I'll just find the earth somewhere. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly go and see if that power is solid. So see my test light lighting up right on that right hand pin. Okay, and we got earth there, and this third pin at the bottom is unused. We got nothing on that third pin. All right, now if I take my power probe, because this is a constant power supply for the relay right on this pin right hand side, this is unused at the bottom, and this pin on the left hand side is earth coming. Okay, so this earth is traveling through the bulb, okay, through the bulb back up to the relay. If I remember how a flasher relay works, that's what I'm seeing. So if I put power right here, okay, I should be able to turn my indicators on. So I'm just going to put power through my power probe into that pin, okay, into that pin. No, that is wrong. That's not. I think that earth's coming from somewhere else. I don't think I'm doing it right. Okay, I think we should able to see earth on the bottom pin. Okay, I was wrong about that. That is some kind of earth coming from somewhere. At the bottom you see earth now at the bottom pin, because I just turned my indicator to the right hand, and the indicator switch. If I turn my indicator switch off, the earth goes away. If I turn my indicator switch to the left, the earth comes back. You can see that LED right there. Okay, in the middle, nothing. That's why we were seeing nothing before. So this is the pin where the earth travels through the bulb up to here. Okay, so if I turn my indicator to the right, and if I give power, I'm going to hit power on my power probe, I can see that indicator on the dash is lighting up, and also my indicators on the side on the car is turning on. I'll let the power probe go. See, the light goes off, power probe on, light comes on. Okay, so we know that's the relay for our indicators. Okay, now I can do the same thing, put power, and I'll turn the left hand indicator on, and let's see what happens. So to make our process easier, I'm just gonna go and get a jumper wire. I'm gonna feed direct power. Alright guys, I have direct power feed from the battery on this green connector here. I'm just gonna use a jumper wire. Not necessary, but this jumper wire has the right
terminal end so I can put my earth directly into that relay pin. Okay, so I'm gonna go and put my jumper power right in that bottom pin. Okay, now we should be sending power all the time here to our bulb circuits. So I'm just gonna turn, I'll just take the camera with me and we'll see what lights are turning on and not off. Okay, all right, so I'm just gonna go and turn my right hand indicator. See that green light at the top on the dashboard? And I'm going to turn the left hand. Even the left hand is turning on right now. Before we didn't have the left indicator coming on. Let's go out there on the car and let's see we actually got the indicator working on the left hand side or not. Right there we got left hand indicator coming on, all of them, even the back one. Okay, so nothing wrong with the circuit on the left hand side. Okay, it almost makes me believe we may have a problem with this relay. Okay, so let's see what we can find here with this relay. All right, so I'll just take that power off, just leave it there, just make sure it doesn't short out to anything. Okay, looking at this relay, I can already see there's a problem. Okay, this is the orientation, this is how it goes in there, right? See, like I said power on this side and the load on the bottom. I don't know where this earth coming from on this side, but I'm not too worried about it. We know our indicator will work. Okay, so on this pin, if it goes in like that, we need to have a power on this pin, right? And we need to have load on this pin, as in bulb and the indicator circuit. But if you look closely here, I don't know if you can read that or not, but if you look closely here, it says at the bottom it says P, and on the left hand here it says L, and on the right it says plus. Okay, for some reason I think the orientation of these pins are wrong, so this is not the right relay for this car. Someone put a wrong type of relay. Okay, so to prove my point, I'll have to do a little experiment here with you guys. Okay, so to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my test light. Okay, let me fix this camera first so we can catch everything what I'm doing here. Just all right. So I'm thinking we have a wrong type of relay fitted to this car. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to simulate the indicator circuit. So I'm going to use my test light connected to the battery negative, which suggests exactly the same way the car has the bulb is connected to battery negative, as in chassis ground, body ground, all the time. And this is my indicator bulb. Now this side of the indicator bulb wire should come to the L pin on this relay. Okay, now if we do that, we need to put direct power. So according to this relay, this is the power pin, this is the load pin, and this is the P is a pilot pin. I'm not too worried about the pilot pin. I don't think this car needs that circuit from the relay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put direct power onto this positive side of the relay like that, and if I put my test light connected to the battery negative on L pin, load side pin, I can hear a click. This bulb should turn on and off similar to indicator, but it's not doing it. It's not. I can hear the click, but I can't see this light flashing. So not only we have a wrong relay, I think the relay is also bad. Okay, so to prove point even further, I'm gonna go and find a relay out of something else, some other card, not gonna be for the Commodore, and we'll do the same test and see if what I'm saying is right. To give you a bit more on the same topic, I'm just gonna quickly describe on the board. Okay, so the relay gonna have 2 or 3 pins. Usually the relay, flasher relay, gonna have mainly L, and you're gonna have X, or sometimes it could be plus, and you're gonna have a P, 3 pins. Okay, so L means load side, so that means it goes to the load consumer side. Okay, positive 12 volt constant power from the ignition switch or wherever, and P is for the pilot, for the dash light. That's how you can do it. So in this design we didn't have the P, so let's not worry about the P. So if you were to, what I did on this car, and if you were to wire a flasher relay onto a car, all you can do is from the fuse, let's say fuse, okay, you can put 12 volt on the positive side of the relay, and from the L side of the relay that will go to our light bulbs, okay, and to the ground. So that's how a flasher relay usually works. All right, I got a relay here, just a universal type. I don't know what this relay suits, which car, I don't know, but it should work exactly the same. This one also has the 3 pin, this one also has the 3 pin, exactly same. But the orientation of the pins could be different on different relays, so we got to be careful with that when we're using unknown relays on flashers circuit. Okay, so if you look closely here, I don't know if you can see or not, but I can explain to you. This is my X. So positive can also be represented by X sign on some of the relays. So X would be our positive, and L is our load side circuit. That's where the bulbs and everything are on that side of the circuit from the L. And P is for the pilot, for the dash light, for the indication for the driver. But we're not going to worry about the P. I'm just worried about the L and the X. So let's say positive and the load. So we'll do the exactly same thing like we tried to do on the other relay that didn't work. I'm going to put power on the positive side of the relay, and my test light is connected to the battery negative. I'm going to touch this side, and you can see my test light is lighting up. It's very dull. The reason the relay is not clicking, I think it's not enough load for this relay. That's why it's not clicking, because it's a thermal switch. So when it heats up something like that, then the relay will turn off and cools down, turns on, off. You know, that's how it works. But I think our test light is not big enough to heat up the relay. That's why we're not hearing that clicking. Okay, but if I use a normal bulb, we can make this relay click like the flasher relay. But let's go further ahead and do one more thing. We will put this relay now into our circuit here, but I cannot put this relay like, you know, like that, because the orientation of the pin, the L, P and positive side of the relay, it's not gonna match the terminals at the fuse box. So I'm gonna have to use a jumper wire and then find the right pins and give the right position in that relay box. Okay, let me go and find a jumper breakout lead or something. Breakout leads, these pins are exactly same size as the relay. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pinch 2. Let's go black and maybe even red one and a black one, make it easy for us. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put red jumper on the X terminal, which is positive terminal on the relay, and I'm gonna put my black lead onto the L terminal, which is load side terminal on the relay. And if we remember up there, before we were doing some testing on that relay on that fuse box, if you remember, the positive was the right hand side. Okay, let's put positive on that pin on that relay box, and let's put negative on the load side, which we think this bottom one here. So all right, now this should work like the normal relay, like the right type of relay that should have been in this car. Now I'm gonna go and turn the indicator on. Now I can hear my indicator relay is ticking. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I will bring it close to the mic. That relay is clicking. So I'm on the right hand side and I'm gonna go on the left hand side. Okay, as it is. Let's go out there and let's see if we have the indicator working now. So I'm just gonna go right, and you can see on the dashboard it's blinking. Now we see on the right hand side we got the indicator working at the back too. The reason it's going quick is because this is not the right type of relay for this car. We just made it to work, that's all. Now let's go left hand side, and we got the indicator flashing on the dash up there, and let's go and see if we got the indicator. Okay, we got the indicator there, middle one, and at the back you can see it's flashing. Okay, now what does that suggest is this is only gonna need a relay, okay, a right type of relay, and this indicator should work the way it should. We sorted out the indicator problem. Now let's talk about the other problem we have. So when I turn the hazard light on, only the right hand side's coming on, left hand side doing nothing. Okay, and we saw the same result with the key remote when I locking and unlocking the doors, and also we saw the same result when we try to command the indicators from our BCM at the scan tool, right? So what I'm thinking is the problem is a BCM as well. So there's a BCM problem, and you also had a relay problem. Okay, so we got two separate issues here. The indicators, once we replace the relay, flasher relay, the indicator will work the way it should, but the customer's still gonna have this issue that when you turn the hazards or the indicator or the buttons on the key to lock and unlock the door, customer's still gonna have the same problem, just the right hand side indicator is gonna come on. Okay, the reason I'm thinking it's the BCM is not only the hazard light only turning on the right hand side relay, also the scan tools doing exactly same thing. So what that means is it's not the hazard light's fault, okay, because we are directly commanding the scan tool to turn our indicators on, but it's only indicating one side only. And if we go back to the wiring diagram before, which I have right here, see these two line coming out of the BCM. This is your BCM, and this is the two wires coming out of you, and they go to the left and right hand side of the indicator. So what that suggests is the driver on the left hand side in the BCM has gone bad, okay, because we directly trying to control the BCM for the indicators with our scan tool. So it's not our hazard light's fault, it's not our relay's fault. I think it's in the BCM. Now if I had the right wiring diagram, because I'm not even sure if this is the right wiring diagram, but if I had the right wiring diagram, I could probably do a bit more testing at the BCM itself, but unfortunately in Australia we can't get all the information that we need. So at this stage, as long as the indicators are working the way it should, I think customer will be happy, because to replace the BCM it's gonna be, you know, hundreds of dollars. So I'll leave that to it, and I'll end this video for now. I'll catch you guys next time.